Shut the fuck up, okay?
Why don't you shut the fuck up? Because let's talk about this.
Air. Let that sink in. You took my motherfucking child out of my house,
No, that's not what I want.
put you in a foster care position.
And I'll say this again. Nah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know I was recording. I'll say this too. Why is it that you call fucked up behavior in black women? See, we'll talk about black men, but when we critique each other, or you talk about the criminal element of black men that you women like, or the criminal element of these toxic hoes, all of a sudden you want to blame white supremacy. No, I'm tired of black people not being accountable. And just because you deal with bullshit, just because you may pay a fine, just because you're dealing with consequences, that doesn't make you accountable. What makes you accountable is you change your behavior. Okay? I'm really getting sick and tired, but you want to tell people what they can and can't talk about. Who the fuck are you? Like you some fucking dictator. You're oh. How about you be a dictator? There's a reason why I don't care. Because just because you may do well for yourself, you may be business savvy, you could be a shitty person. Can we say that? And my thing is, if a woman's failing in her relationships, especially with men, and having bad energy, and she can't get, but she don't have, we talk about just on general respect. I am so amazed how women don't like each other. Don't have no respect for each other, but will defend each other in the wrong. But when the minute women in general, modern Western women, westernized women have a fall, all of a sudden y'all want to attack each other. Y'all worse. And the thing is, you saying talk about because I'm not a parent, I can't talk. No, bitch, nah. There are people, and I'll say this again, who cannot have no box, maybe can't have, maybe they're sterile, maybe they cannot reproduce a child. Ever thought about that? Oh, I forgot. You don't know nothing. You never think about that. You got people who are adopting children and doing a damn good job. I'm thinking about those who do a damn good job taking care of children that's not biologically theirs. There's ways to be a parent. I don't need, you're talking about the emotional lovey-dovey and all that stuff. That's just another way to dismiss shit. I don't need to be in a situation to know what's up. Like this. I don't need to, it's like this. It's the outside looking in, but I would argue sometimes you be the inside looking outside. If that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, I don't know what to say. Man. I don't need to touch the goddamn stove to know that I will burn my fucking hands. It's common knowledge. We're talking about common knowledge. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. You ain't tough. You ain't intellectually superior. You need to have several damn seats. And my thing, why do I, as a black person, gotta love everything about being black? There's too much coon shit. There's too much fuckery. And I'm look. And we're talking about outcomes. It's not helping us. But the minute we critique women, it's a problem. But see, when women, it's okay for women to critique each other. But you know, I noticed something. When women actually start going in and start exposing shit that you're not supposed to talk about, going off code, all of a sudden, she'll pick me or some man, whatever the bullshit. I'm not saying you fuck with that. But all of a sudden, oh, she's the enemy to the sisterhood. But it's so funny because when men have issues, we're never on code. And I would argue that's the reason why black men in general, particularly black men, are in this situation under the gonocracy plantation. So I'm so sick and tired. You can give your opinion. Your opinion matters, but we're not giving opinions. We're giving facts, and we're giving our facts. And then some of us are giving our opinion, but you just want to give it out an opinion. You so dumb.
Quick to tear each other down, right?
How's that tearing each other down by critiquing each other respectfully? But the minute now you're gonna see in this live stream, I'm gonna play bits and pieces. I did cover did some reaction stuff, bits and pieces. I don't know how I want to put it together, but you will notice that she has no problem going in on men. But you talk about we're tearing each other down. But it's so funny. We need to call out the criminal element in our community, but out in the community. But see, you can't do that. See, when it comes to like your son, and I would say her son ain't no damn angel. She can swear up and down. But see, you can't. See, she can talk about criticize other black men, dysfunctional black men. But the minute you talk about the men in her family, oh, she want to fight. I find that really interesting with these feminist-minded heifers. But when it comes to other women, it's so funny because you can't critique each other. But when women do, when you got a few women who do, it's a problem. Oh, we're tearing each other down. What the fuck? So, in a nutshell, with these weak heifers, you can't say nothing unless White Zaddy and Karen say something. You can't say nothing. You're supposed to let these toxic degenerates run amok and destroy the community. That's why our culture is in the goddamn toilet. Because you can't say nothing about these weak-ass, tough, toxic, masculine, beta male, beta female hoes. You can't say nothing about them. We have to have an explanation. Meanwhile, when it comes to men in general, especially the men they have disappointments with, but we get all of them lumped in the same group. Oh, we don't have no mercy. Ain't that a bitch?
Like, why do you automatically assume that this woman got 9 kids and got a bunch of baby daddies and where the daddy at? How you know she didn't have 9 children? She wasn't married. And
Ma'am, stop. Just stop. I am so sick and tired. Let me take sister girl. Will never take up for you. This is the stupidity of. But I think this is she a mixed girl. So, I mean, stop trying to be so hard that you're so down when you're not. And then all of a sudden, and I've seen this with a lot of your mixed chicks, mixed people in general. All of a sudden, you get this superiority mindset. But see, I would argue, black people in general, we put these people on a pedestal. We gotta stop doing that shit. Stop cooning.
Her husband died. How do you know that didn't happen?
No, she was not married. Heifer, she was not married.
How do you know that her husband left her? Maybe they just recently got divorced. Maybe he went
No, she had 9 kids by multiple dudes. Jesus Christ. I'm going to skip this part because I'm not playing. We ain't playing. It's like, it's fucking ridiculous what she's doing.
And let me tell you.
Like I said before, as the fact that this heifer is taking up for her, defending fuckery, and blaming it on the men when a lot of these women came for that female because she has no order, she's dysfunctional. She put her kids in CPS, put her in poor conditions, being reckless. Can we be honest? But you're attacking her, bitch. Stop. This is what I can't stand about pro-blacks. Y'all defend the worst type of people. This is the problem with pro-wax. I said not pro-blacks, pro-wax. W1. Pro-wax. You're not B1. You're W1. You certainly ain't B1, 2, 3, B black first, second, third, and fifth, all the way to the goddamn end. You ain't none of that. You had women coming for her. But that's a problem because it's something had to do with the men because of your personal issues that you refuse to get counseling for. Ain't this a bitch?
Something for any of you dumbass men who
and for any of you dumbass women, shut up.
Don't have any children. And
you got a lot of women who don't have any children. Again, you don't have to be a parent to know how to raise a child. I am so sick of this. It's ridiculous. It's common sense. I'm pretty sure you're auntie, ma'am. I'm pretty sure you got women who don't have kids, right? Or don't have kids, right? Are aunties, but they're parents. I don't care, but you do, or you could be the oldest of 3 children, 5, whatever the fuck. You're still kind of like a parent because you're learning. If you're the oldest child, like I am, you have a learning curve. Let's keep it goddamn real. And it's like for you to say the dumbass men when there's a lot of fucking women calling her out. All you gotta do is watch Pink Book Lessons, Michi X. You probably don't like her. All you gotta do is talk about you got women calling her out. But it's the men's fault, right? Because we're supposed to defend ratchet bitch behavior from these toxic codes. But the women who don't conduct themselves like that, they don't deserve no respect, right? They don't deserve to be put on the pedestal. Your last live stream, you said that's a problem, but look what you're doing. You can't make this shit up, people. You can't make this shit up.
I don't give a fuck if you got a little 2-year-old running around your house. If you have never, ever had teenage children, shut the fuck up, okay?
Bitch, please, you should need to shut the fuck up. We already know you don't know how to handle nothing. That's why your son got put in the school to prison pipeline. And you're probably other kids with their issues. Okay? I mean, was that necessary? It's like you don't need to. It's so ridiculous. There's people who can't have children biologically. Maybe there's health complications. Where the fuck? You got people who adopt. Oh, but I don't help, right? And I'm talking about the people who do a good job with being adopted parents. So you see the fuckery with this Heifer and Heifer's Slacker. And I'm not trying to be rude. But I gotta call it bullshit. Even if you respect somebody, you gotta like, nah, that ain't the business. And over the place for this reaction, but this is what I always notice problematic about her and the rest of these melanated heifers. I can't. No. You got to earn that title. You're not even a woman. A woman doesn't even conduct herself. I don't care what her. How about this, Michi? You need to talk to Danica Marie, who went through real problems, real hurt, compared to you, and she don't do none of that shit. If Danica Marie and other women who went through just the same and worse situations, but they don't be tearing down black men and lumping all men in the same group. Now, here's the thing. Her argument, well, I do pick up dudes who do this and that, but here's the thing. But here's the thing. It's a backhanded compliment. It's funny because I get called out for doing that, but I don't even do that shit. When it comes to my issues with women and girls, but women now, you know what I'm saying? It is so funny because these brothers, but see, these brothers gotta be pro woman, not pro man. I'd rather him be pro man, but see, you can't say that in the pro black sector. You can't say that shit. You get canceled. You can't have any red pill. If you're a black man, you gotta understand who's very B1 revolutionary, B1 especially B123. You know you can't be red pill. And I have talked to a brother. We had our issues and disagreements, and I said, man, if they want to classify you as a manosphere nigga, who gives a fuck? I don't fuck with the manosphere. I don't fuck with many men's advocate spaces, and it's due to the fact that they ain't about this revolution. I said you got to take the power from, you got to destroy democracy and feminism to build up the black community. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe not. Well, I can tell you not right now. Maybe not in my lifetime. I don't know. But the thing is, it's like these guys got to kiss your ass. And it's so funny because she's on good terms with Thomas Sotomayor. And it's so funny because when that he had his issues, and it's so funny about that's why you really. And my thing, she wants to be friends with Tommy Sotomayor. I don't. I'm not here to tell people who they cannot be friends with, who they can and cannot fuck, who they cannot have relations with, who they cannot be with. I'm not here for that. I think it's funny, especially. I know I shouldn't even discuss it. The heifer that talks about black male, she supports aborting black male babies. Heifers like her. Talking all this shit about Dusties, but her and her partner, female partner with a Dusty, but she was a bad wench and she was a bad wench. But she stereotypically dates the same type of males, but she's telling women not to deal with a dude who got kids from different baby males, but she ended up hooking up with him and actually flew herself out to see him and now has a child and try to give him hell. We're not gonna discuss. We already know. That's why you can't take these content creators who are activists seriously. You really can't take them seriously like that unless they're doing. I'm not saying she's not doing no work. Y'all don't like. There's people who are doing real work. Okay, I'm saying that there's politics. We saw that with Kevin Samuels. We saw that when he met certain people. He was not Kevin Samuels of how he became Kevin Samuels. We see the code switching in this problem, and she's doing the same thing, code switching. And actually defended Tommy Sotomayor, and she's actually in good. Now I don't know, some business. If she wants to do business, and they want to collab, I'm not. Look. But this is why you can't take these, especially these female content creators, serious, gentlemen and ladies, especially the ladies. Y'all know. You see this shit?
This is why we wear this tough posterior, because we're ready to protect ourselves, because life taught us if you don't, nobody else will.
Y'all ain't protecting yourselves.
You don't want to talk about that.
Y'all don't protect yourselves. Y'all make poor decisions. Y'all irresponsible. You're irresponsible with your bodies. Not saying, look, I'm speaking in general. Okay? We're not even talking about you. We're just talking about in general. As a modern heifer. Here we go with the scarlet letter. We get the scarlet letter. The victim Olympics, the oppressive. I am in down. Here we go with her Karen episodes, Karen episodes. Oh, here we go with the oppression Olympics, the victim Olympics. Melanated women always need to have a monopoly on victimhood. Black men can never be victims unless you get shot by the police, and then they make money off your Black death. Look at Black Lives Matter. These females who claim to be actors don't give a shit about black men. They barely care about the men in their families. Now, some of them, like her, will defend the men in her families despite how fucked up they are. But I'm not gonna get into that. How are you protecting yourself? The reason why, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be self-efficient. What I'm saying is that if you don't listen to a man who, especially he got his shit together. And I'm not talking about having tons of money and all this other shit and being I'm not on that high value man bullshit. I don't fuck with that shit. I'm talking about a man who's a problem solver. Listen to Ken. How about this? Why don't you talk to Kendra Davis? The Crimson Cure. Why don't you subscribe to her? Why don't you talk to her, Michiax? Oh, I forget. Because I think I already know. The Crimson Cure, Kendra Davis will shut her down. Fish. Anytime you got a woman who calls out dysfunctional black women and actually tells brothers and actually say, these are the type of women you need to be, these women get triggered because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They think because they do well for themselves financially and got degrees that they're doing something, but they ain't built nothing. Nothing. If you ask a woman to build anything, it's not going to happen. I'm not being funny, people. I mean, all this shit, all this stuff. My thing, if you don't listen, you reject a man who's knowledgeable, problem solver. Because you think he's lame, boring, he talk like he white. A man who got provision, the 4 P's: problem solving, provision, protection, and then procreation. But my thing, I would add this. outside of the 4 Ps: critical thinking, common sense, logic, but actually understands the psychology of emotion. Well, I don't fuck with that emotional intelligence. That's some feminist bullshit. That's some modern bitch shit that I'm not fucking with. If you reject a man who's knowledgeable for whatever reason because you can't do whatever the fuck you want to do, that's on you.
But let me tell you something. As an independent woman, make multiple six figures a year, I will.
How about this? I don't give a fuck about your money. Ma'am, a man's man don't care about all that shit she talking about. No man wants to deal with that. No man don't care about you. Because you know why? Because you ain't gonna share that shit. You're gonna share that with the side nigga and take our money too. Not saying you specifically. You're gonna spend it on whoever you're gonna spend on yourself and the people around you and some other dudes, but you're gonna take our money too. You're gonna drain us dry, and we gotta take care of your family, who's Dusty's. The Dusty's in your family. You gonna do whatever the fuck you want to do with and then mess with some dude because these women will talk about cheating, but they be cheating too. They be cheating heavily, more so. But you supposed to see her as a prize, gentlemen. Women are never the prize. Nobody cares about your accomplishments, ma'am. Yes, you should care, but that does not make a man. That does not turn a man on because we already know. Look, I'm not generalizing, but that doesn't impress us. That's a bonus. To be honest with you, that's a bonus. But if you're not feminine, fit, friendly, cooperative, you don't have no black pride. You don't have a red pill stance. You're not awakened. You're not conscious. And you talking all that feminist bullshit. Your mental health is fucked up. Like I'm seeing right here. Fuck all that.
Shoot you in your face. I will kill you and sit on the curb at the courthouse if you do something to my kids. But I bake cookies and shit. I wear aprons too, you know. I clean windows and walls and I do all of that. I iron. I sew. I could sew a whole motherfucking bedspread and a set of curtains for you and have your whole room matching. I could play the violin and put your ass to sleep. But I keep those things in my back pocket because we're not allowed to do these things all the time.
Family, people. What the hell is she talking about? We're not allowed to do those things. What's stopping her from? This is why I have a problem with melanated women. You're not. That's not an illusion. The reason why you're not allowed because your mama didn't teach you that. She taught you all this feminism and this misandry and the color purple narrative about black men and how to get over on a man. Not saying that your mother did that. I'm speaking in general, but I'm pretty sure she did. She did. Let's just keep it real. I'm not going to say nothing about her mother. But I think she's a bad wench, a swirler. But I'm not gonna go there.
You can't go out in the world and show them that. But I would tell you, you know what would be the greatest thing for me? And a lot of these women out here, sister, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. The greatest thing that a fucking black man could do for me is be the man that he's supposed to be.
No, I gotta stop right there. It's not my job to be the man that you want me to be. No, we're not doing that. You're supposed to be the woman for that's needed. Now, here's the thing. You cannot. That's not realistic. Even on birth, that's very delusional. Because you don't get to tell a man. When you're not a man yourself, you're not a man, you don't have a dick, even though you want to pull your dick out, you don't get to tell men, because I don't think you have a man, because if you did, I'm not going to, you don't get to tell men, especially when you don't have a man, on how men should be. See, this is the hypocrisy. She wants to tell people to shut the fuck up, especially men, but she gets to say some dumbass shit, gentlemen. But every time we speak facts, truth to power, common sense, logic, that doesn't make, because she don't agree with it, she wants to tell us to shut the fuck up. You see the hypocrisy with modern women, old, bitter modern women? I'm sorry, look, I don't have a problem with her. I mean, I like her as a person. I mean, I do, and actually, I'm learning about some of her business savvy ways. You know what I'm saying? But I cannot. But you know, out of love, I cannot let you get away with this. Just like I tell people that I respect, you say some fuck shit. If I don't agree with you, I will tell you why. I will show you why. I can even share personal experience. Why? Because I'm out in the field, baby. Okay? Because you don't get to tell men, you don't get to set the standard. We set the standard. See, that's that modern dumbass shit you be talking. You need to be quiet.
Talking about paying my bills, but being a man, right? Be the protector.
No, you need to be a woman, and you need, first of all, you need to have pride. You be a little shiftless, and you need to be the woman that the man needs to be. And if you can't do that, you have to find somebody. Then he has to move on. You have to move on, and let's just respectfully part ways. You cannot mold somebody, and this is the problem I'm having. You're trying to mold men to be like you. That's not how it works. You're trying to set standards for men like you are you the head. That doesn't work that way. I know you don't like that. It's not about what you like. This is what's needed. Just like I can't tell women how you should be. I can't mold you. I'm done. At 39 years old, I realized that you cannot change a woman. If I want a woman to be a certain way, I have to be realistic. I'm going to have to take the good and the bad, especially the bad. Especially I got to understand, is that bad worth it? Because I can deal with good, but is that bad if I cannot tolerate it? Are there some things that she want to work on for my benefit, for her benefit too? But what's wrong with her doing it for my benefit? Because I mean, out of fairness, if she's saying, yo, this is what I got a problem with, I love you, I respect you as a man. This is what I want you to work on for yourself, but I want you to do this for me. I will return the favor. But see, in this gynocracy and this white supremacist CAFO gynocracy, this misandry, anti-black man misandry society, everything's screwed up. We're in a lost value system. I got done watching The Crimson Cure today. Maybe you should watch her content, Michi. I have respect for her. Okay, and my thing is, I may not agree with everything, but some things I may not. It's just because of that or different life experiences. But you know what I'm saying? But you gotta learn how to agree to disagree, respectfully.
Don't come to take advantage.
Ma'am, here's the thing. How about this? That's a you problem. My thing is, I get so sick and tired of people talking about don't take advantage of me when you're out here taking advantage. You're out here being told how to get over. A lot of women have been told to get over on a man, take advantage of a man, and we're supposed to accept it. How about you learn how to treat people the way you want to be treated? And stop being so entitled.
Treat me like I'm something precious to you. Go ahead and act like the man in the room so that I can feel that I can take this masculinity and I can sit it down. I don't need you to buy me a necklace.
No. See, guys, when it comes to a masculine female, that's not going to work. If she's not feminine and she wasn't raised and indoctrinated to be feminine, there's nothing you can do, man. Because she's offering conditional femininity. My thing is, she got a lot of issues. She needs to be worked. And I know she don't like being criticized. My thing is, you got to check out, you got to address your mental health. Your traumas, your issues, and stop using it as an excuse. And stop using it as a fucking weapon against men who never did you dirty. And stop lumping the few bad experiences that you dealt with and lumping all men in the same group. Stop doing that. I am so sick of these overt generalizations. But the minute I criticize a certain sector of women, just the general behavior, not the individuals, not the people, but just the culture. Calvin, you're generalizing. It's not all like that. Why don't y'all say that about the men? When are y'all going to say that? I'm not saying she don't say it, but I'm like, you're inconsistent on saying. I mean, when am I going to hear women say, baby girl, not all black men are like that. But the only time y'all defend the men are the men that you know or the men in your family. No, you need to defend men across the goddamn board. If I got to look out for women to defend and protect, aid women that I don't know, but I'm not getting no cookies, I'm not getting no access to her pretty feet, and I can't suck on them. I'm not getting no head. I'm not getting no affection, no love. I'm not getting no home cooked meal, no back rub. But I'm supposed to just sacrifice my life for the greater good, go to prison for a toxic, masculine, hoe ass, dumbass heifer who's a beta female, because you come across as a beta female, being hyper toxic, masculine, the functional beta male. Basically, you're what I would call a male Pookie Ray identified hood rat. No, that's not gonna work. A beta male identified toxic masculine beta female heifer. That is a modern woman. No. Okay. I'm going to play this last part, but
I don't need you to buy me a bag. I don't know about you sisters in the chat. What I need you to do is give me the ability to be a woman.
we can't do that. And I'm going to stop right there. We can't do that. That's not our job. We're not here for that. That's your mother's job. That's the women in your family's job to teach you how to be a woman. And I mean no disrespect, but when you're over the age of 20, when I would argue that if you're over the age of 15, it's over. Women are set in their ways. You can make the argument that a lot of men are set in their ways with their hey, you won't get an argument from me. But I will say a lot of women, especially when they get older, they're stuck in their ways. They can't get out their own way. Okay? She has to learn how to be a woman. I can't teach her that. That's not my job. That's the mama's job and the daddy's job to show an example. But even so, even if you didn't get that, like I said, there's other women who was not taught this, but they learned. They didn't make a bunch of excuses. My thing is, you're responsible for your own outcomes. You need to learn how to be a woman. You should learn that. But my thing is, at that point, blaming everybody else. And yes, I mean, I feel where you're coming from on certain things, but there's a lot of stuff that I wasn't taught on how to be a man. I thought just work your ass off and make women happy, but I saw the negative outcomes from my father. I saw the negative of other men getting fucked over, and in this plantation of the gynocracy and the white supremacist system that you talk about. But we can't just stop there. We got to talk about gynocracy and toxic feminism. Unchecked female privilege that you swear that doesn't work, but look how you just using it as a weapon. With the double victimhood. I have a monopoly on victimhood. I have a monopoly on oppression, being oppressed. That needs to stop. Because if you keep doing that, especially women, you're going to have a gender war. We already know we didn't create the gender war, but I'm sorry, ladies, y'all responsible for the last 50 years with the misandry. Okay, I'm sorry. But anyhow, my thing is, and the fact of the matter is, you had a lot of men who are afraid because of the position, but I would argue a lot of men, hey, we didn't have our stuff together. You had a lot of dudes talk about, well, I get more money, I get more play, and instead of working together and having a strong brotherhood, but we get called gay for looking out for another man, because a man's not supposed to advocate for another man. You see how that's the divide and conquer? My thing is this. At the end of the day, the common denominator is you. Whatever issues you have and all that stuff, you need to get the help. You need to get help, professional help. You need to work on, and you can't just rely on professional help, but you need to work on, you need to fix you. Your issues, your pain, your past hurts, your traumas, you need to fix that. And instead of using it as a weapon and to push your own misandric agenda. If I did what you did, which I was in a dark place, but I got called out. Because I was going down a path of being because it was in a reaction to the way I was mistreated. My hardship, me being harmed, me being assaulted, violated, sexually assaulted. But I can't talk about, look how I can't even talk about my pain of abuse. I can't talk about it because look how I gotta force myself to talk about it. But you got free will to express yourself. That's where the disconnect is. I hope you understand. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video, people. Helps out with the algorithm. And please support the platform from Cash App and PayPal. Take care.
What I want to say to you is y'all sound crazy. You're asking a fucking community and a group of women who have been nothing but brutalized by...
And you mean to tell me that black men ain't been brutalized? If you don't shut your fat ass up, I am so sick and tired of you melanated heifers, especially you mixed chicks who like to straddle the fence. I forgot, I can't say that. This whole thing, you want to compete and have a monopoly on victimhood, is trash. And it's so funny because she has said, because I be watching her a lot. White supremacy created this and that, but when it comes to, but by the by, black men are responsible. But you can't say black women are, but you can't just say it's white supremacy and then blame black men, but black women are just innocent bystanders. The laws favor you heifers, regardless if you want to accept that reality or not. The law will take your side as long as you're tearing down black men and boys, and you're hurting the girls, but you don't give a shit. This boss bitch, this female empowerment, women, black women, pro-black woman shit, y'all don't give a fuck about that. Bitch, y'all don't like each other. Y'all tolerate each other just to have your own selfish interests. Let's be honest.
Very men who want to stand up, and y'all want to fucking tell us today, you fucking fake ass Kevin Samuels, and you want to come and tell us how we should submit.
Guess what? You can go die alone, man. You don't have to. But I got a question. You keep that same energy when it comes to white supremacy. Because you are submitting to white zaddy. Like it or not, bitch. You are submitting to white zaddy. And my thing for you to even bring up Kevin Samuels, are you that hurt by what he said? Oh my God, oh my goodness. You're that triggered, even though the message would not apply to you, but I guess it does. If these guys want to support KS, that's on them. Just like you support who you support. Y'all support black feminism. You support these swirlers, these big winches, these Cynthia G's. I'm not saying you support Cynthia G X. You called out Cynthia G. I'm just saying in general that the hypocrisy with black women is a joke. I don't care if you're light skin, dark skin, caramel, milk chocolate, Hershey. I don't mixed chick. It doesn't matter. With the modern black heifer. It doesn't matter. Fuck out of here. This is somebody you really can't talk to. And you wonder why you attract, there's a reason why I'm going to be nice. There's a reason why some men cheat on women like her. There's a reason why some dudes rather stay and hang out with their boys. There's a reason why some other men who are married to women like her will mess with other women. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole DL shit because all that manhood, that fake ass, you would have pulled your dick out, imaginary dick out. Hey, there's a reason why a lot of these females will get caught with guys who have sugar in their, who are suspect. They know they're suspect, but see, they can't do no better.
Submitting, and we was listening to our uncle because he's our uncle, and we should fucking trust him. And he fucking raped you. You learn real quickly.
Okay, ma'am. I can say the same thing about mama. I can say the same thing about the female babysitter. I can say the same thing about the female cousin, the auntie. I can say the same shit. Okay? I am not going to there's so many guys who are walking around got trauma worse than you, but see, we can't talk about it. Even when we have our own platform, ma'am, we get silenced. We still get criticized. Kevin Samuels has never said nothing disrespectful about Michi X. Anybody in the manosphere has never said nothing derogatory about Michi X, but she goes at the manosphere for some odd reason. She goes at black men who make red pill content. I don't understand why you're doing that, Michi. I don't understand that. Why are you so triggered by black men who air out their grievances and you're not part of the conversation? Why do women like you and others like you, your supporters, why do you have a problem with the manosphere? Look, I don't know what they said, or you can't here's the thing. Just because you have a few assholes in the group, so you want to so all these niggas ain't shit who are part of the manosphere who support Kevin Samuels because you had a few dealings with them. So you want to just lump everybody in the same group. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Because I can say the same thing about Cynthia G. Fuck that trash asshole. That trashy hood rat bitch. That bed wench, that fucking hoe. Talk all this shit about black men. Talk about aborting black male babies. I will give you, I will acknowledge you called her out, but come on, baby. Come on. You ain't consistent as hell. You have more smoke for the men, but you want the men to build, provide, and protect. Get the fuck out of here with that.
That submitting to the wrong motherfucker can cost you a whole lot.
Ma'am, that's a you problem. Choose better. First of all, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. That's a you problem. That's why I say, I don't know. Now, look, a lot of these women are not looking to be wives. They're not dating with intention to marry. Now, if you want to be single, you want to be for the streets, do you? But the women, a lot of y'all be capped. You go off with the guy who makes you tingle, and then you get caught up in a bad situation, or your mama's dating a guy who makes you tingle. But meanwhile, the biological father don't have access to be there for you. She wants to make it hard for him, but make it easy for him to come through and do the inappropriate shit. This is why we need to teach our children how to vet. You need to teach your sons how to vet for these hoes, how to avoid these type of women. Just like, how about instead of telling, not saying you or any women, if this don't apply to you women if this doesn't apply to you ladies, just be quiet. Stop telling your daughters how to get over on a man. Stop teaching all this misandry, not to trust a man. How about you just check your character and choose right the first time? Don't give me that I was young. I get so sick and tired of that. I'm young, but I want to do grown ass shit. Oh, I want to drive a car. I want to get my license. I want to travel. I want to do this and that. I want to do grown stuff. I want to fuck. I want to make my own money. Not saying you can't learn money as a kid, but I'm just saying. But when consequences happen, I'm a kid. That's how you women sound. Don't you understand that? Again, I'm sorry, there's a character flaw that and I had to do my work too. Still doing my work. I got to look in the mirror. I got to look how I conduct myself. I can't be nice to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying? I can't be nice to everybody. But see, I'm like this. I will set the tone, but I like this. You respect me, I respect you. A lot of times I will fall back and see what she's gonna do. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll be talking and I'll just chill. I don't get nervous. When there's a silence, I don't get nervous. I want to see what she's gonna say. Maybe take pointers from the right man and learn to listen instead of back talk. Men who know what they're talking about. You know who you talk about, but we can't tell you nothing. And you can't tell somebody over the age of 40 nothing. These women over the age of, actually, I would argue that by the time they're teenagers, you can't tell anybody anything. Especially these girls, because they were raised wrong. This is a woman who's broken.
But y'all don't want to hear that.
But we've been hearing that for the last 60 years, ma'am. We've been hearing this, but when are you going to hear us? When are you going to hear us? When are you going to listen to us, men? And stop. We're not talking about the guys you like to screw, the guys you like to have relations, not the guys that you find attractive. I'm talking about all men, the whole 100%. Stop basing your negative experiences, generalizing the 5% of the niggas that you dealt with, and you want to lump all men in the same group. No, we don't do that. Stop doing that. If I can't do that as a man, well, even though I would argue that, more than 50% of the women I come across, I come across some nice ones. I'm not going to lie. Nowadays, it's different for me. But if I'm coming across all this hostility from melanated heifers every goddamn day, judge her as an individual, but y'all don't keep the same energy. Y'all don't even follow your own advice. What the fuck is that? What's up with that?
Then we get into relationships, and the niggas we would be beating our ass.
Don't go there. Don't go there with me. Don't go there with me. Y'all be whipping our ass too. Actually, a lot of times, y'all will be verbally abusive. Y'all be very disrespectful. Y'all be extra. Y'all be hostile. Y'all snap. If we say something to you and you get offended, you want to put paws on us. You want to put hands on us. You threaten us with violence first. But we're supposed to take your abuse because you're having a bad day, or you got into it with another female, or you're still thinking about your ex, or you're still dwelling on the guy who broke your heart when you was a teenager, still crying over him. This dude has moved on, regardless of what he's doing. He could be dead or in jail. You still crying over him because it didn't work out. You got your heart broken. That's life, okay? Like you said, I forgot. When we say the same thing, when we use those same talking points back on you women, and I'm talking about women with this type of mindset, not going to mention any names, obviously, but when men say the same thing to y'all, it's a certain sector of women about this type of shit, all of a sudden you don't want to hear it. But you have no problem, but many women like this have no problem telling us how we should feel. Fuck out of here. Y'all again, stop acting like you don't provoke men stop acting like you don't antagonize. Stop acting like you don't be disrespectful. Stop acting like you don't cross the line. Stop acting like you don't be fucking belligerent. Stop acting like you don't have a fucking temper. You be beating our ass too. You be pushing buttons. And don't talk to me about self-control. How about this? How about you learn self-control? If you know a man's twice your size, why are you getting in his face? Oh, I forgot. We can't talk about that. So every man's beating your ass, right? Bitch, get out of here. So every man is beating your ass. Michi, how about you take accountability? Oh, maybe you should be quiet and walk the fuck away. I forgot. You don't want to hear that. And I'm not going to go back and forth with you. That's the difference between me and other dudes. I'm not arguing with you. And I recommend guys stop arguing, debating with women who don't want to get it. You can't, once a woman's a certain age, you can't tell her nothing. Let her hold her own nuts. Since she wants to talk about she balling out of control.
So we learn real quick submitting to the wrong thing. And sometimes you don't even know it's the wrong thing because I thought the person I submitted to was supposed to be good for me.
Well, maybe if you actually date with intent, maybe if you stop going by the man who's fine, who's sexy, who look good, who got a way of words. How about you start looking for what's real early on? There are red flags, but I would argue you need to look at your own red flags. Look at your flaws first. Too many of women, and yes, guys too, but too many of women think they're perfect. You got women, and I'm not trying to be funny, guys, but you got women like her. I'm not saying she's like that, but in general, they all think they're 10s. I would ask, what the fuck is a 10? Because to me, if she's a 10, I'm basing off of character, not her looks. To me, you can look good. You can be a 10 in looks, but when we have the conversation, are you still a 10? You can look like a 10, but are you a 10? No, you're not. No, there's no such thing. Look at a person's character, ma'am. Learn how to judge a man off of his character. Stop going by, ooh, girl, he got a way of words. Ooh, he's smooth. Those are the guys you need to avoid. How about, look at his shoes. Y'all be so shallow sometimes. Look, I'm not saying you don't got men who be going, okay, but because I would argue that a lot of women are very visual. They got that tunnel vision, toxic visual. You need to learn how to be aware of your surroundings, ma'am. And I don't want to hear how I was raised and how I came up. I'm tired of you I'm tired of that excuse. I could say the same thing about myself. I wasn't raised like this. I wasn't taught this. Ma'am, sir, but ma'am, cut that shit out. By the time you're able-bodied, by the time you are a decent functioning adult, you cannot blame your parents. Your parents, regardless if they did a shitty job, which is the majority, it's up to you at this point. And it's up to you to learn from their fuck-ups so you can become a better parent. Not saying you're not doing that, but I'm saying in general, to the audience. I'm not saying she's not doing it. I'm saying in general. God damn.
So then I'm not even sure what's good and what ain't, because a motherfucker put a smile on their face and they'll be real good for a while until they change on you. And you never know.
No. Again, you're looking for the wrong shit. Again, you were going off of his looks. All you have to do. Okay. Let's throw that out. Okay, in high school and you at your teens, your early 20s. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of you didn't know. But come on, when you live life, there's no more, especially when you get over the age of 25. Entering your 30s, you should know better. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There are no more excuses over the age of 25, 26. Because your mind is evolved, you should be able to be able to process rationale, logic, and reasoning beyond that point. At that point, you should be able to do that and critically think. I forgot women have been conditioned to never think. Just blindly go off of feeling and just disregard thinking. That's dangerous. Men just use logic. Fuck your feelings. Forget that's dangerous too. That is dangerous. There should be a balance. Regardless of how men and women move, there should be a balance at all costs, at all times.
That change is coming. So when life has built black women up to know that if you go missing or if you get abused, people care about you the least.
But, man, Misha, get the fuck out of here. You just like the black man. Nobody gives a fuck. See, again, this is the problem. I'm not even going no more. This is the problem with modern black women, especially you heifers. Who owns the goddamn media? Who owns the media? Who owns the media? Is it black owned? No, you got media outlets that are owned by black men, dude. But I forgot, we can't talk about certain things. We can't, because it's misogynist. Oh, I forgot, we can't do that. We can't talk, but we're supposed to call you queens and goddesses and coddle you. No. Here's the thing. Just like they treat black men, they don't give black men, they don't show no respect to black men's humanity. They don't give a fuck about black women either. How about that, baby? How about that? The media cares about white bitches and white males, and guess what? You will never be put on the pedestal. Black women, I hate to break it to you. No, actually, I love to break it to you. I love to break it to you and build you up. I love to break it to you and build your dumb ass up to think critically and logically. And yes, you can acknowledge the emotions and the psychology and all that stuff. They will never, the media is owned control by who? The Jews, right? Caucasians, right? The caves, right? We call the caves, right? Why would they put an emphasis on black women matter? Or why would they give a fuck about black girls? Why would white folk give a fuck about black girls? Why would you think they will say anything positive about the black man? But yet but just like the white media, the black misandry, look at what you're doing. You have, just like the Caucasian, cave, lamestream media with their racism and misandry. Okay? And then lastly, a little bit of misogyny. But see, there's more misandry. See, you will never understand that black men deal with more. You got a strike and a plus. Black men got all types of minuses. Okay? They will never say anything positive about black men. The stuff that we do, even when they say we're the most involved, black fathers are the most involved in their children's lives. Black men are more persistent when fighting for custody. Black men are the only group of men that listen to women. Try to be fair with women, but it don't get. Look how we get the disrespect. But see, they're not. But even when there's positive stuff being told about black men by other groups of people, which is rare, but there are times I'm noticing that there's more positive things being said about black men. Black women have a problem with that because they want the spotlight. Let me say this. Black women's issues are not, white people are not going to give a fuck about black women's issues. Just like they certainly don't give a damn about black men's issues, the plight of black misandry, anti-black misandry, anti-black male misandry. They don't care about they don't care about black men. They demonize black men, and then black women turn around and do the same shit. Not saying black men like when black women are demonized as Jezebel, hoes and fox and bitches with badass. I'm not saying black men don't play a role in it. I'm not saying it don't happen, but let's be real. It's mostly y'all because y'all have a stronger voice because you're not a threat to white supremacy. Let's keep it real. They don't fear you heifers. You can talk all this big bad shit, big bad meat. You can talk all that shit you want. Nobody fears you. Nobody fears somebody who's fat and overweight and got mental health issues. Okay? Okay, so get over yourself. My question to you, Michi, why would you be in a relationship with a man that you don't respect and you don't trust? I'm so sick of your argument. I'm so sick of the rest of you have this argument. And here's the thing. I admire your work. I respect what you do. I gotta interject. I'm so sick of you women with the victimhood narrative, the victimhood propaganda. I know what you're talking about. My thing is, why would a woman who's be sexually reckless, but see, you don't want to have that conversation. You never want to have that conversation. Poor choices in men, was never conducting herself as a wife. And I don't want to, you can miss me with this. Well, I wasn't raised to be a wife. I was raised to go to school and I was raised to be a free for and just do me. At the end of the day, there's no such thing as perfect parenting. I wasn't taught certain things about manhood, but I learned. I don't want to go. I'm doing a reaction to what she's saying right now. My thing, enough of the excuses. A lot of you females make poor choices. And look, the men you would never get no argument that the men need to do better in certain things. Just like y'all need to do better, because a lot of you, when it comes to these dysfunctional males, y'all are a huge factor. Can we say that? Agree to disagree? You're talking about women have to be masculine. Well, I would argue that's why you attract the dusty behavior. That's why you were always in toxic relationships. The lack of femininity. And I'm sick of the excuses, because you have no problem talking about you got a degree. You and these other heifers, other females, women, ladies, getting the degrees, working under a white-owned company, but who your boss is probably a white female manager over you that you hate, and the guy who owns the company and probably the CEO of the company is more likely a white male. But you blindly take orders from these motherfuckers. You blindly take orders when it comes to the laws, getting your driver's license and owning property, owning a home. You follow the rules and regulations without no question. But when it comes to a black man, even if he knows what he's doing, it's never enough. Explain that.
So I hate when I hear these conversations because I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. I said that to somebody the other day. What came first, the chicken or the egg? And what I mean by that is, statistically,
I'm not dealing with. Look, I'm not dealing with you trying to spin stats, because what you're talking about. I'm sorry, a lot of these females. Look at TikTok. You see how these women pimp out their own sons with the son husband abuse and the daughter sister, and you see a bunch of fots running around. And if you want to act like this that you don't have women who are just prostituting themselves by choice, and they're telling their own children to be hoes. I don't know what to say.
Black girls. Every 1 in 4 will be sexually assaulted multiple times by the time.
But how? How would that be? What are the causes? And my thing is, if she's in a home, and I would say a 2-parent home, how can that be? When I would argue that you have, and this is not a one-way conversation. Shout out to Dr. Hassan Johnson. You have, if you're saying that about black girls, what about black boys being sexually assaulted? And I would argue that it's high, and it's actually statistically and rate-wise, black boys are more likely to be assaulted, sexually abused, and encounter violence from grown women, older girls, teenage girls. Which I would send you flowers. You did acknowledge that, but that's not your interest. That's fine. But my thing is, when it comes to these black boys, I'm sick and tired of that being ignored by the pro-blacks. Okay? And I'm not going to get in no debate about rates and statistics, because statistics, where did the statistics come from? And how did you do your own research? I'm talking about field work. Because nobody asks these boys about their victimhoods and traumas and abuse. It's like it's swept under the rug. I'm not saying you're doing it. I'm not saying people who don't, but it's laughed at. But when men talk about their encountering intimate violence, being assaulted, sexually assaulted, raped, being harassed, and afraid to say something because his manhood, he looks like a bitch saying something. When is that gonna be included in the conversation? Why is that separate from girls when I forgot we're not equal, but we want to pretend that it is.
I'm there 18 years old. You already said that we come from all these fatherless homes, and we talk about the boys and how the boys don't know how to be men. But does anybody?
But a lot of you women don't know how to be women, because y'all set it up that way. You get rid of the strong men. You get rid of the men who are red pill, the ones who are alphas, the ones who are very conscious, because you don't want to be told what to do. This is why I have a problem with her. And I like her as a person, but I gotta call out bullshit when I see it and smell it. Because my thing is, a lot of these women like it like that because they have a problem being under a man's support. This man can have his shit together, and I came from a family my dad had his money right and all that stuff, but it was never enough. And masculine disrespect, but she's cheating. A lot of these kids get abused because these women be fucking hoes and bring out the wrong, bring the wrong element, the wrong type of women, and the wrong dusty ass dudes around the children. That's what happens. But when are we ever gonna have a conversation about that? Oh, we only have it for girls, but when are these women going to be held accountable for playing a part of what about when Thomas Sotomayor stated that you have women being taught to be hoes by older women? You have women who exploit each other, get each other set up. But the argument would be, well, we mostly set up men. Ignoring the fact that you proved my point. That there are women who are trifling, hang with the wrong type of people that have no business hanging with because she's toxic. She trifling herself because you attract who you are. So women do set each other for failure. They set each other to get harmed. But we have all this women's empowerment. But where's the Me Too on this issue? But I will discuss in a different video. Where's the feminist, the National Organization for Women? Oh, but it's the black man's fault, right? But when black men say, hey, y'all need to, tighten up. No, carry yourself to class. Hey, you shouldn't conduct yourself like that. Hey, don't be showing all the goodies. Don't be OnlyFans. Don't be doing all the OnlyFans and being all braggadocious, putting your business out there. Don't be showing your ass and tits, being a fucking amateur porn star, and then talk about respect. Whew.
Talk about how the fuck it affects girls to not have a father around.
Well, if you have women who don't want the father around, and you have women who've been told not to respect men, and lump all men in the same group, which is not right. But guys, we as guys, we're supposed to don't generalize. You got to judge women as an individual. Well, when are we going to keep that? When are women going to keep that? Women and girls are going to, and girls are going to be taught to keep that same energy.
See, I don't understand why we think that the man is only there to raise his son. Because the mother teaches her son some things too. And the father teaches his daughter some things. More importantly about how men and how life should treat you. See, if you have a father and he treats you right, you understand how a man should treat you, so you have something to equate.
Now, here's the thing about that. I have, and this is not just my personal experience, but I have had so many women who have fathers and they have no respect for them because the mom poisoned her mind. Having inappropriate conversations, talk about he toxic and all this, but my thing is, why don't you talk about this? First of all, a child should never hear that. Girls are told to get over on a man. We're told that women are told they're princesses and they should expect the best, but they're not told that when it comes to outside of the family, you have to prove yourself, just like a man has to prove himself. I can be a great man to the women in my family, to the people around me, but I got to earn my stripes regardless. Explain that.
When you watch your father be good to your mother, you have something to equate it to.
Nope, because a father can be good to the woman. The color purple narrative will continue to be discussed.
When you don't have that, you don't know.
Well,
and so I just want y'all to really understand for this whole argument. What none of you stupid motherfuckers ever want to do is have the conversation of the root of how we got here. Black women, by statistic and numbers, I read it to you tonight. I can give you damn day.
You can give statistics, but but my thing is, who conducted the study? We can give statistics about what happens to black boys and how the negative effects of what happens to black boys being around hoes, being around grown women, the son husband, boys being exploited, got to take care of his mother. We could talk about how these women are sexually abuse these boys, the women in the family do too much. We could talk about that too. I mean, I'm not going to go, this whole thing, I'm not doing the victim Olympics. Like these heifers want to try to take statistics, but yet let me ask this heifer a question. She can walk out her front door and do whatever the fuck she want to do, right? But, she has no problem talking shit to a man. She can go out and travel and do whatever the fuck she want to do, right? Got the freedom to do it. But, she has all this fear. I ain't buying it.
We
We
are
are
abused, battered, and fucked up from the.
Black men are abused, very extremely battered. We encounter violence at a younger age. We encourage all types of. We be exposed to shit that we shouldn't be exposed to, especially if you're around these wild ass teenage girls, these older girls, these women, especially when it's a matriarchal household. But we can't talk about that, right? But yet these heifers want protection, but they don't care about the men's issues. I stand by those who are in them. That's why I can't say fuck the manosphere. That's why I can't say fuck the red pill content creators, because one thing the difference is about the red pill content creators in the manosphere, unfortunately, it's not a gnocracy. Now you do got your simps, you got your tricks, you got these guys, these He-Man women, these guys who've been done wrong by women, have mommy issues, auntie issues, women in the family. Like I grew up around a lot of misandric women in the family on both sides, but mainly on my mama's side. So we think all women are this and that. We've been told to be a good man, be a good upstanding man, and you find out that you're a chump. But I'm not going to get into that. But here's the thing. She wants to talk about, there's ways to protect yourself, honey. There's ways to defend yourself. There's ways to conduct yourself. And my thing, this is why you need to have a good man. I don't care what your situation is, man. This is why you should get yourself a husband and learn how to be respectful and cooperative and agreeable and shut the fuck up.
The moment we come out the womb, what are you talking about?
But what about black boys and black men? Black boys are becoming men. See, I can't.
If all we have ever done, let's be clear. Do you know who the perpetrators of black women's pain is?
Do you know what the perpetrators of black men's pains is? Do you know the perpetrators of black men's pain? Ask Brian Banks. Do you know that I saw a woman put hands on a man and he gets arrested, he gets suspended, likely fired? Black men got to deal with, men in general, but black men got to deal with you toxic hoes, you toxic heifers. But we can't talk about that. We got to make it more about the women. When is it going to be about the men? And I stand by that. Hey, by God, men like Dr. T, Hassan Johnson, I stand by him with this. I stand by other men who make red pill content like JD Black, and myself included. But you want to talk about what you've been through. Fuck you. I mean, I respect what she does, man, tries to do for the people and bring people together. But you can't. Here's the thing with you, Michi. You need therapy. Since you got all this unresolved anger, what are you doing? Are you getting any type of counseling? Or you just run your fucking mouth? Maybe you need to sit your fat ass down, shut the fuck up, and get counseling. And stop getting your trauma define you. Look, I know it ain't easy. I know that's not what you want to hear. That's tough shit. You can call me names. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, you better check yourself. You might get a stroke. You might get cancer. My thing is, the root of the pain is white supremacy. But the root of the pain is these bed wenches that never get called out. And unfortunately, a lot of your pain comes from y'all making poor choices or your mom putting you in bad situations. This is why, and I know what happened to you, but my thing is, you have more than enough time to get therapy. Just like the baby, just like R. Kelly, just like a lot of men who got trauma. We can't make no excuses. We got to heal ourselves. We don't have avenues like you women do. And there's women, I don't want to say, you got all these support systems, so-called safety nets, but you choose to do nothing. So why should I listen? My thing look at how Tyler Perry told his story. Stop letting your fucking trauma dictate the rest of your life. Stop letting your trauma, your past hurt, your past pain define you and define the rest of your life. Lady, you have resources where you can actually get the healing. I don't know. And the thing is, I don't know if she's doing that or not. I'm saying stop trying to use your hurt and pain to go after black men. I know, and your argument is that I do stand by black men, but you have conditions, man. You talk like a modern woman. My thing, if a woman's feminine, she's in her full strength when she's in her feminine, when she works on her issues. You're not in full strength. You are too hurt and too broken. Okay? You can be, I mean, I can relate, believe it or not, to some of the shit you're talking about. Because it has happened to me as a man, but it doesn't matter to you. That's the problem here. Black men have to sit back and listen to your horror stories. But when it comes to our issues, we need to suck it up. No, fuck you, bitch. And if that's your attitude, I hope you die from cancer. Or die from some terminal illness. Because that's going to happen to you if you don't check your attitude, if you don't do what you got to do to heal yourself. Because you're not, look, I got issues I got to work on. But lady, you need to really stop never let your hurt, your pain, your past hurts, your disappointments, and your traumas from males and other women, but mainly from males, dictate your attitude throughout the rest of your life and how you deal with people and how you approach men. And I'm tired of black women using the double victim card, the double, just like there's a double minority, there's the double victim. There's the double victim oppression Olympics. It needs to stop, and you need to stop.